Nature doesn't do perfect angles, but the Hubble Space Telescope just found them anyway. I'll be honest with you, what I'm about to show you shouldn't exist in the natural world. Deep inside the hazy glow of the interstellar visitor known as 3I Atlas, Hubble has revealed something that defies the chaos of the cosmos. We are looking at three distinct jets of material erupting in a perfect equilateral triangle. They are spaced at exactly 120 degrees, a mathematical symmetry so precise that the statistical probability of it being a natural fluke is just 0.2%. That is a 1 in 500 chance, and those are odds that make me very uncomfortable. We went looking for a comet, anticipating a dirty snowball falling apart in the heat of the sun. Instead, the geometry we found looks less like geology and more like architecture. It is the kind of discovery that changes everything we thought we knew about the rocks drifting through the void. But here is the part that really messes with my head and keeps me up at night. If this isn't a miracle of physics, then we are looking at a deliberate signature. Welcome back to the darkness, my friends. This is the mystery of 3I Atlas, and it is here to challenge our perception of reality. You are watching Space Nest. For months, we have watched this object drift through our system, assuming it was just another silent traveler from the stars. It was supposed to be a ghost, a remnant of a dead system passing us by. But as it gets closer to us, the Larsen-Sechenina filters have peeled back the layers of dust to reveal a core that defies conventional science. We are no longer just talking about ice and gas sublimating in the vacuum. We are talking about a structure that seems to be stabilizing itself with surgical precision. The question we have to ask is whether this is a strange new class of comet we have never seen before, or is that 0.2% probability telling us that we aren't alone in this silence? Today we investigate the impossible geometry of 3I Atlas and the data that has astronomers divided. We also need to discuss what might happen when this visitor finally reaches the king of planets. Because when 3I Atlas meets Jupiter, we are going to find out what it is really made of. When we look at the stars, we often forget that we are looking through a veil. To see 3I Atlas clearly, we needed the extraordinary capabilities of the Hubble Space Telescope. Hubble captured 17 images, and while the raw data looked like a blurry smudge, the truth was hidden underneath. To find it, astronomers used the Larsen-Sechenina rotation gradient filter. Think of it like a digital sieve that separates the signal from the noise, highlighting the structures that are actually rotating with the object. When they applied this to the Hubble data, the smudge vanished, and what emerged sent shockwaves through the scientific community. Instead of a messy explosion of gas, they saw three distinct, needle-thin jets. These jets weren't random leaks. They were positioned with the balance you would expect from a manufactured drone. It maintains this stability even in the middle of a chaotic drift through a foreign solar system. Let's talk about that 0.2% probability. In nature, symmetry is a rare guest on this scale. The chaotic forces of collision usually destroy order, yet the three jets on 3I Atlas are separated by approximately 120 degrees. If you have ever looked at a blueprint for a satellite, you know this number. This is the golden ratio for balance in a three-thruster configuration, creating a perfect equilateral triangle of force to neutralize torque. It is engineering 101 applied to a celestial body. Some researchers suggest it might be a contact binary, a cosmic accident where separate rocks fused together, but for three independent vents to be placed so perfectly at identical latitudes and longitudes defies logic. Avi Loeb, the Harvard astronomer, isn't ready to call it a coincidence. He is pointing to this symmetry as a potential technological signature. If it is just a rock, it is quite literally one of the most mathematically gifted objects in the history of the universe. Skeptics argue the rotation might be forcing gas through specific channels, creating an illusion of order, but in engineering, symmetry equals efficiency. What gets me is that 3I Atlas doesn't tumble like a chaotic asteroid. It emits jets in a pattern that suggests active stabilization. It feels less like a discovery and more like an encounter with a machine that knows exactly what it is doing. The clock is ticking. On March 16, 2026, this interstellar anomaly will make its closest approach to Jupiter. Jupiter is a gravitational titan that doesn't take kindly to intruders. Its tidal forces can tear comets apart. NASA is preparing the Juno probe to witness this event, giving us an intimate look at an interstellar traveler while it reacts to our Sun. We have the massive anti-coma stretching 100,000 kilometers, and then we have these tiny, precise jets only 24,000 kilometers from the core. If 3I Atlas is a loose collection of dust, Jupiter might rip it into fragments like Shoemaker-Levy 9. But if it maintains its 120-degree symmetry and structure, the game changes. If 3I Atlas makes a course correction as it passes Jupiter, it won't just be a mystery anymore, it will be a message. We have to consider if this is a Bracewell probe, a hypothetical autonomous device sent to monitor other civilizations. A rotating triangular array like the one we see is ideal for a synthetic aperture, which is perfect for mapping. If these jets persist past the frost line where solar heating is weak, that would be the smoking gun, proving the energy source is internal, nuclear or chemical, rather than solar. 3I Atlas is sitting outside our standard boxes, forcing us to build a new one labeled Interstellar Anomalies. As we wait for March 2026, the geometry remains stubborn. If machines can evolve, then 3I Atlas is a shark, a sleek minimalist predator of the navigational pathways. Nature usually likes redundancy and mess. Intelligence likes optimization. We might just be the new kids on the block finally looking out the window at a highway where 3I Atlas is speeding down the lane. Space Nest will be here tracking every pixel. If this is a sentinel, let's show it we can do the math too. Keep your eyes on the data and your mind open. The universe is speaking to us in the language of angles.